Hello, hello, hello. Let me get this straight. Is that at the right kind of angle? Can you tell I've been moving things around? Good evening, everybody. Welcome along to tonight's Tuesday night's edits. I am Andy Gray, if you don't know me. If you don't, where have you been? And bit of an odd one tonight. I have pre-visualized and conditioned myself to make a particular image tonight, and it might go horribly wrong. So won't that be fun? Good evening, Kangaroo. Good evening, Peter. Yes, hopefully it'll be on it. Well, it's on its way. Fingers crossed it'll get to you. I think pretty much from what I've seen, all the UK people have got their calendars. They're all possibly in their hands. Evening, John. John may well have... Yes, John has received his. Excellent. Thank you very much, John. I'll let you translate that Latin chat there. So yes, anybody who's bought one, thank you very much for doing that. And if you haven't bought one already, then they're out. I'll put my teeth back in. There are some left, so get your orders in as soon as, to make sure they actually reach you before New Year. Hi Ken, chilly in Florida. Actually, I have a friend in Florida, and she was just saying yesterday that it was very chilly down the. She's in Melbourne. So she was complaining about the cold, and I was actually quite surprised that Florida actually gets down to like 2 degrees Celsius. That's kind of freaky. Evening, David. Good to see you. So yes, good evening all. And as you are all in here, I'm probably going to enjoy this evening's episode. If you give the stream a thumbs up, always a help. That'll be fantastic. Has anybody been shopping for Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday deals? I have. Nothing major, but I updated my Nick Collection software. Well, not my collection, Nick Collection software. I updated my upgrade to the Nick Collection because it was half price, and it may still be if you are looking to upgrade to the latest version or have an old version. It is currently half price and probably a very good deal. So I spent some money on that, and then yesterday, Cyber Monday, I bought. I really started throwing the money around. I bought myself a new mouse because my old one was getting a bit hard up, and this one I didn't realise how nice it is to have a mouse that doesn't scrape on the desk because the pads have been worn away on it. So this is like really nice, and I've got a mouse pad coming tomorrow as well. And I also bought myself a fancy new, well, it's basically a gaming keyboard, but a new keyboard as well, because my other one was pretty manky, and it being winter, it is winter now, being that time of the year, that mid-afternoon thing where the light's gone down outside, and it's not quite dark enough. Well, it is dark enough to put the light on, but to save a few pennies, because I'm tight, I bought a keyboard that has lighty up keys, so I can actually see what I'm typing at 3 in the afternoon. Evening, Justin. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, because I'd been seeing what you've been shooting when you've been away, and I haven't seen any ICM stuff from him. Has he abandoned it already? So good to find out that you have done. Hi Ray. Cold and windswept Scotland. When is Scotland not cold and windswept anyway? I have been there when it's been reasonably nice weather as well. Yes, it's actually it's a gaming mouse as well, so it's It's very smooth, very nice. So that's pretty much what I've been spending my money on, because I haven't got much, so a few quid here or there, always nice to treat oneself. So tonight, also mentioning Black Friday, Cyber Monday and all that stuff here. If you haven't got my my presets for Analog FX Pro 2, then they are currently 40% off from the usual link, which I think is below. I'm not sure because I've had to redo a different stream bot description. It's currently 40% off, so if you haven't got them already, and you want to play around with them, then they are reduced. So a worthy time to actually have a go at them, because they are available for a little bit less than what they were before. So yes, a few people have made the most of that offer, which is nice of them, so thank you very much if you're out there and have recently purchased. So yes, and also the code, it's in the description when you get actually onto the page. It's just, the code is Black Friday, nice and easy. Everybody can remember that, surely. Right, I think that's all the notices and stuff done, so we will remember how to work this. And everything on screen. Yes, there we go. Right, so I was out. God, I think it's a fortnight ago now. Grand, thank you, Kangaroo. I'm not sure because I just cut and paste it from somewhere else. Bloody YouTube still playing around. So I was out a couple of weeks ago at a local ruin called Edlingham Castle, and I shot a load of frames, but whilst shooting it, I got this frame, and it made me think of Corfe Castle, which is down in the southwest somewhere. It's far away from here anyway. Reet famous spot of England for if you're a landscape photographer and like mist and castles. That is the place to go. I haven't been. It's many, many miles away, and I can't see me getting there anytime soon either. But the shape of it just kind of came about. The way this ruin is. You got this lump here and that lump there. It is very much like a certain angle of that, of course, Corfe Castle. So that just leapt out at me straight away on the back of the camera. So I vlogged this as well. So you'll be able to one day when I get around to doing it and finishing all the images to go with it, one day you will see that vlog. And I also mentioned the fact that I spotted this shape that looked kind of like Corfe Castle. So we're going to go and try to force that image out of it. So I'm going to push with all my knowledge and buggering about ability to try to get something that semi-resembles it in the end result. So fingers crossed it works. If not, it's an episode anyway. Evening Aussie, good to see you, and still haven't been to the post office, I'm afraid. Bit early in the week, but I will try to get that into you this week. I said that in about July, didn't I? Hi John. Oh, you'll know where it is. You know well where it is, and it'll have been several times. So hopefully I'm going to get something that semi-resembles it. Obviously it's not going to look exactly like it, but you can kind of hopefully I'll get that impression of it, and we'll see what happens. So whilst we very understandable of you, Aussie. So just checking over some of the other frames that I shot alongside it, just to see if any of them would be useful. I did pick a few out. Yes, I did, because I already got them marked with two stars. I forgot I almost pre-prepared this episode, apart from getting the link live and getting the thumbnail and all that done. I did all that last minute. So there's a few bits and pieces here. If you're wondering what actual subject I was shooting to get said shapes, it is this castle here. Just a little bit square block left, really. Not much to it, but we will see what else we can get. It is indeed, David. Right, let me get some frames sorted out which are usable. Maybe it's even that one. I think what I'm going to do is just chuck a load of frames at this and see what blends, basically. So I think from there, let's just check these through, not that one. So I'm thinking that one, I'll give that two. The ones I'm going to use, I'm going to give 2 stars. So I can find them, yes. That one too. Yeah. Yes, definitely that one. And that one, I suppose. Right then, so I will select all the 2s, which are... yes, these ones. Oops. Still getting used to my new keyboard. Distance to finger is a little bit further away. Right, so we are working. I'm going to work on this one because I've already started semi-tweaking it. I lightened it just to make sure my eye was actually in, so I wasn't kidding, wasn't seeing things. Well, I always see things, but you know what I mean. It's not good too heavy with the contrast. I've already boosted the exposure by quite a bit, and keep that brightness up, because really what I'm looking to do is retain these 2 shapes here, but create the hill that Corfe Castle actually sits on. It's a really distinctive, beautiful kind of look at the castle. Not like me to be last minute. Yes, obviously, David. I am pretty terrible for that kind of thing. So colour wise, I am thinking kind of sort colour later in Photoshop later on as we see how things blend together. I don't want to go in and jump in with a ton of reds or yellow or blue or whatever at the minute. Leave it fairly natural coloured. Maybe go to auto. Auto there's just kind of warmed that up just a slight amount. Oh, somebody's being generous. Thank you very much, Kangaroo. I've just seen that notice come through. Hi, Joseph. By the way, good of you to have along. Good of you to come along, I should say. I'm going to change things up. I'm going to add a slight amount of texture at this early stage. Detail. I know I always go on about noise reduction and moving it up to 50 to flatten out all the ISO. I'm going to be very dodgy and only go to 25% or 26 there. Just so it doesn't... Some images I've been processing recently and they've felt, by the end of the process, they've felt very, very plasticky. And not got a lot of texture in them. So I'm starting to dial back a little bit on that. It will cause me issues further down the line, but that's just the way it's going to be. Good evening, Paul. Good to see you. So, dust spotting, just in case we need any. Yes, we do. Just sort these out. What does it say, Paul? Congratulations on the 2,000 subscribers. Well done, sir. That's quite a boost in what was it, about 10 days. You've gone from 1,000 to 2,000. That's a good rate of increase. Right. Dust spotting done, I think. Right, so sync all them settings across there. So all of those 7 images. I'm not going to, well, I'm going to initially layer 7 together, but I can't see us using all of them. I've forgotten how to use Photoshop. There we go. I'll blame the new mouse. It moves differently. Distances. We need to adjust the speed of things to get things in the right kind of place. Not bad at all, that's one way to put it. Pretty damn good. Monetization next, mate. Get in there. Wait an age for these. I did spend the entire, well, not the entire weekend, but running up to Friday and a chunk of the weekend looking at Black Friday deals and all that, just to see what. Because I would like a new main editing monitor, because this one I am losing confidence in. I would like to get something that's definitely 100% or sRGB compliant. Just increase the reliability a little bit more, because sometimes I'll since I've got the calibration sorted out, I look at the screen and I can't define like whites and just off white, because other colours start interfering, and it can get a little bit frustrating on light areas like this spot here. On one screen it looks kind of green, and on the other screen it looks kind of magenta. Really frustrating when you're trying to work with specific colours. Thankfully it's just this area, and when it comes down to the rest of it, yellow's yellow, that's fine. But just off white is causing a few issues. Right then, let's blend some of these together. See what it's doing. Obviously it's a very light, much lighter image, so I can a multiply blend mode on 7 layers. Usually would just be black dark, but because the image is quite all the frames are quite light, they are you still got a bit of structure there that you can see. But I think we're gonna. I don't think I'm gonna use lighten, but I might use something like multiply or and darken, just to get things to a starting point that I can work with. At the minute, these are just random shapes, which you can see. So I think I'm gonna have to use multiply to get going, and I'm just gonna knock off all these layers. To be honest, Paul, it didn't take long. It was maybe at most a fortnight. It was faster than it was faster than what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a couple of 2 or 3 months, but at the time you know, rattled it through pretty quickly, which was nice. Meant I could make some money before everybody left me, or everybody got bored and stopped watching my videos after the Thomas Heaton effect. Right, knock that strong one out. That's the one I just knocked out there. Got to get back to the one that was actually, yeah, this is the one that started it all, so I need to build around this, and it's just on about creating shapes, like looking for that shape of the hill down here. And even though I might not use it, use the, you know, like the entire frame, we have this nice edge down here which I will probably use. I think I might just mask that out now. So create a mask for that layer, and just using the gradient tool, just mask all that out, leaving the just make sure that's straight, leaving that edge, so we're kind of building the hill up into the castle. Fingers crossed anyway. The vision is there, whether the ability and the data is there to help things along, I'm not sure. Yet to be convinced. And this one I'm going to have to move kind of in line just to strengthen those shapes. And this one, I'm going to drag those in. Actually, I'm going to free transform this one and spin it. Oh, the other, it may be finished now, but the other deal I got at the back end of last week was I managed to knock 19 quid off my Creative Cloud subscription, which I was very happy about. Basically, there was an offer on. It may not be on anymore. There was an offer on for the full Creative Cloud collection for £30 and pennies, and of course at the time I was paying £49 for the entire thing, and have been for a few years. Looked at the offer and said you can't buy it because you've already got a subscription. And said if you cancel your subscription but not actually go through it, they offer you the offer. So I got £19 off by just restarting my subscription. Fantastic. Just shows you how much they rip you off though. Alright, so I'm just going to get rid of these edges. Things on the top there. Evening, Alan. Good to see you. And thank you very much, Rob. Thank you very much for buying one. Very appreciated. Very much appreciated, I should say. Very generous of you to be buying my merchandise. But I'll tell you now, it makes a hell of a difference, because it will keep me going over the winter, providing I shift the remaining few. Come back here. But yeah, no, it's a massive help when people support me in that way. It's fantastic. Oh, that's very handy. Yeah, having the educational packages, big saving for a lot of people that can get in that way. Right then, this one, I'm going to have to reduce the opacity on this one, I think. Just to pull that back a little bit. Right, what's this next layer? You never know, this might be a quick, I'm not going to say a quick episode, but this might come together easier than what I thought it might. I thought it might be a complete disaster. Keep that all nice and light. But by the time I start dicking around with colour, it could get very, very messy. Something like that. I'm going to reduce the opacity of this one as well. Just don't want to get too... We've already got a bit of a smudge in there we could do with it. I think I'll probably add some clarity and structure into here so there's a bit more texture. Otherwise it might get a little bit too messed up. Right, I'm just going to see where these edges are. Oops. Make a mask, Andy. You're forgetting what you're doing. Too busy talking. Right, that's them edges out the way. So I want those edges gone as well. Very easily just playing with it's just the gradient tool. That's all it is, nice and easy. Just lighten it up, lighten it up, lighten it up. And this one will really lighten the sky up. Hold down shift, not control, Andy. Something like that. It might be that it's getting to be a bit of a smudge here. I presume you're talking to me, Alan. Of course I'd fancy a sunrise over the Christmas holidays, because sunrise is about 8:30 in the morning. Best time ever. So yes, I'm up for a sunrise anytime after the weekend. Yeah. Happy to do that, Alan. Right, so this layer here, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to, where's the eraser? I'm going to mask this out, but I'm just going to mask out in here just to get rid of the, like a low opacity, so it's like 30%. Float about 40 there. Random button presses. I'm just going to erase a little bit out of here, just to get away from that smushiness. Is that such a thing in art? Smushiness. In the centre there. Just take a little bit of lightness out of there. I've taken a little bit of the sky out there, but when it flattens down it shouldn't have any issue. Edward, it may be. Is it just the screen that's blurry, or is it the entire video? I don't think I've changed settings. But then again, I did have to use the new live streaming thing, which was a bit of a pain. Don't like new things. Don't know why they have to change things. It's so annoying. This one, going to reduce the opacity a little bit. Hopefully that'll bring a little bit more structure in. And I think we're not that far away. So I'm gonna use the Visa. So I'm gonna drop that in. Are we all good, Edward? Was there something, possibly something at your end? Did that start? Was it just thinking about it? Right, so what I'm just going to do in here is the structure tool. I'm going to just drop a spot in there, so it's going to be roughly that shape there. Use the structure tool, just brings a bit of definition into there, just enough. Maybe not contrast. Maybe we'll just leave that one alone. We could play with saturation a little bit, but probably not. Just use the structure tool. Okay, that come out. There's a little bit more definition, there's a little bit more of something to latch onto. Right, colour time. So we want to... New favourite thing, which is the selective colour tool, which you can start really going to town with. So look, even though Corfe Castle is a grey castle, I think it is anyway, John, if John's still out there. Looks like a fairly granity type of castle. So I'm just going to play around a bit with these colours, get them to a rough tonality that I'm happy with. I can't believe I didn't use these tools until like the other day. Just typical me. Yellow's not maybe the one to use. Again, with all these things, very small adjustments makes a huge difference. So be gentle with them. I think that's probably all we really need on there. Maybe some universal changes. Come down the street. Soften that blue just a little bit. A little bit of a red glow. Add in a bit more red into the castle there. I was right. I did look at a few pictures on Google image search last night just to check I wasn't going crazy in my interpretation of the scene. I'm thinking, I'm sure it's like a very grey looking castle. Something about that. So I think that's roughly a decent starting point. Hopefully now that when we go into Analog Effects Pro, that there's gonna be enough there to interact with and so forth. So we'll see what we get. With a bit of luck, it might work in, and this might all turn into mist. We might have to run it through a few times to see what we get. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, actually have it listed as the location as Corfe Castle, even though I've never been within 200 mile of it. Actually, that's a lie. I will have been within 200 mile of it before. I've been to what's one of the D's on the south coast, Dorset. I've been to Dorset before, so that'll be closer than what Northumberland is anyway. Many moons ago. Long before I knew what a camera was. Hi Ray, when was 6 years ago? Was 6 years ago after, was that after Google bought it and updated it? Or was that after it? Or was 6 years before it? I've completely lost track of where we are in time these days. I can't believe it's December and it's my birthday this weekend. Another year older. Shocking. there was probably a few. They've added some new film filters to the silver effects that I know of. So that's like the most recent edition. So they've obviously bought the rights to mimic some of that from Ilford or wherever. I haven't had a chance to play with them yet though. But as for the the stuff that I use, Analog Effects Pro, then I'm pretty sure there's not. I don't think that maybe it's changed that much in 6 years. I think I've been making these images for roughly 6 years, and I think I've only ever used Analog Effects Pro 2. So they haven't added anything to that that I know of. It's a nice little interpretation there. Just a wee sliver of the hillside. I'm quite liking that. I'm just going to play with some exposure. Just see if I can balance it out a little bit. Yeah, just pull back ever so slightly on the hierarchy. What basic adjustments have we had done there? A little bit of brightening. We'll add the contrast. Plenty of detail. Something like that. Yeah, you're probably right, Ozzy. They did do a lot, so it would work with updated like Windows 10 and all that kind of stuff. And I think the most recent ones they've updated so it works with high definition screens. So your writing isn't minuscule; it's actually scaled properly. So lens vignette. Probably not really needing any lens vignette because I'm looking to make this sunny. A lit image. You probably will be okay, Ray. Just one of them ones you've really just got to play by ear. If it continues to work on your system, then all's well and good. But the day will come where there'll be an update somewhere and it'll just die. And then you're stuck with wanting to carry on. It's going to cost you 125 quid, which is a bit of a stinker. You're going to keep this strength down because it's just blending all this together into a light muck rather than a dark muck. I think it does need a lot more warmth to this though. So the green, if I return that back to its middle, it's a little bit better. Pull the end down, and it's the magenta-y type of stuff. Come down here. Well, we've got that, which is a decent start. But just to start, what I think I might do is, just look at something like that and look to blend it together with it. Yeah, you're quite right, Ozzy. So I'm just thinking that one is I'll start blending different interpretations together. This is where it gets really handy. So I need to make a note because my memory is terrible. Piece of paper. Remember which preset I'm going to use. Use. And then the other one I was going to try was Northumberland. watercolour. Yeah. So what I think I do is make 3 different interpretations, and then there's a few there's a few here that are looking quite good just by themselves on their default values. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save this back into Photoshop, and we're going to come back in and just keep on making new layers. This is what I do like quite a lot of times, is make like 5 different versions from the same data and then never show anybody, and only post one if they end up being okay. So one of my little secrets is that I do lots and lots and lots, then only show you the one. Right, I'm forgetting which one it was ago already. Newlands. Come here, Newlands. That one. Yeah. I'm thinking of using that on the, say, if the right hand. I'm pointing with my hands and you can't see on screen. I'm thinking on the previous one was nicely lit, if you can call it lit, on this side, and then this is on the, use this as the shadow part of it, possibly. So we'll send this back into Photoshop as well. Don't put yourself down, Ozzy. You are good. I only post one because I'm very selective. Like I said, I was going to do like a blog post of all the decent stuff from York, and then I went through all my York stuff yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know if I can post any of this. Maybe one this. Small adjustments. A little bit like that. Yeah, detail extraction. Do I go high or do I go a lot off? Do I go off for a dreamlike? Yeah, let's stick to off. Lens vignette is opening out, so that's fine. Just okay. Send this one back into Photoshop, and then we'll just have a little bit more, a little bit further look down the list. To be honest, Ray, if it works now and you're using like CS5, then providing that continues working, I wouldn't worry too much, because the Nick collection hasn't all of a sudden been massively updated for older systems like that. I don't think there's much worth paying the extra for, apart from it, unless it's stuck. Right, good stuff. I wasn't sure, John. I know when I see shots of Corfe, there's always like a hill in the distance. So I wasn't sure if it was in the right place. Not that I'm bothered about if it'd been in the right place, because this is an abstract version. But it's nice to know that it's kind of semi-right. So I could even use that as sky, blend that in as well. Right, let's reduce that. Just going to lighten that up a little bit. Oh, the green's fine. I thought it might have been slightly off. It's just my screen. So I'm going to save this as for just the sky. And then I'm going to have a quick look through my presets for me newer presets, which I haven't released. And then I'm going to see if I can start putting this together to make something. We'll see. Nice little adventure tonight, isn't it? Going in with a predetermined vision of a result. Set as kind of a vision of a result I want to achieve, and pushing through until I get something workable. Maybe. I think as well, a lot of these I could, it's one click. I can quite happily go away with any of them. So yeah, these ones aren't working quite as well, but that's fine. That's fine. And cancel that. Not a problem. So activate all these later. If I can hit the right hole. Activate these. So what we want, I want to overlay. Maybe not. Let's come back to that one. Let's blend the others first. Shush phone. That's having no effect there, right? So we don't want overlay. We don't want soft light. Well, I'm losing the ability to control my blend modes these days. Excuse me whilst I have a breakdown. So that one is fine. That one above there. Take that one out. How's that one dealing with that? You select it. So that's almost giving me side light from there, isn't it? That's pretty cool. This one I need to maybe forget. Well, it's giving it a nice colour tone, I think. Yeah, I subscribe to not spending any money as well. Alright, let's just work this out. Yeah, I think lighting's fine. Lighting's fine there. That's giving me a nice casting light on the side of there. And this one needs to go with that, and then I'll actually just reduce the opacity slightly. Gonna mask this, just paint it out completely and then just paint it back in. Smaller brush, a little bit of yellow down here. that working? No. No, it's not handy. But we could change the blend mode now for a little bit more effect. So something like that's better. Yeah. It's better. So maybe we have about 75%. And then we've got this layer to deal with, which I think we can just stick a mask on this and just pull that across there. Let's undo that actually. Just going to reduce the opacity slightly so I know how far I need to go. Something like that. So we've got that up there. You know, this like almost like reflecting cloud on the top left. And because if you remember, the sun is coming in from the right hand side. Hopefully. Right, Andy, I mean, let's get towards an hour. Hurry up. Hurry up. Oh, there's a hair on my screen. Right. Think, Andy, think. Curves. Not that deep. Brighter. And then reduce opacity to about 32. That should have increased a wee bit there. That's fine. Right, actually, I want to add in a little bit of red. I'm just gonna invert that. This area here, I'm just gonna see if I can paint in a bit of colour. That doesn't make it look too fake, he says. Let's just reduce the opacity a touch, something like that. Yeah, that's just fills in that little bit which seemed to be horrible. Alright, Viveza again. I'm just going to look for a bit more structure in there. Hopefully I'm not losing out there. I'm just quite concentrating on trying to get this image semi-right inside the time, which is sometimes an issue. Still want it to look quite good. You know, it's not one of these ones I just want to abandon because it's not quite working. I want to push through with it. Structure. Don't want to add too much structure to all the image, just a little bit. About like that. I don't know about it being magic, Ozzy. A tiny bit of warmth. Tiny bit of warmth. Warmed it up a little bit. Now just control point again, just to the edge of here, just to see if I can get a bit more edge. So it looks like the sun's actually hitting it, which I think is just about happening there. I'm going to move her a little bit over here, see if we get a bit more structure there as well. So that's just duplicating it all together, and then it's affecting that area there, which is fine. Add in a little bit, that's about 18, something like that. That's quite decent, and that's fine, right, okay. That's really affecting just the castle there, and I'm gonna put some blank ones, what do you call them? A U point with no input, so that should nullify the wider spread of these two here. So like the foreground doesn't get too crunchy. Whoops. Just duplicated them by holding down the Alt button. Space them across there, and then that should pretty much all be affecting only that there now. As you can see that these are having these U points here are killing off the effects of these down in the foreground, if you get what I mean, because I think if you knock these out, you can see there's a bit of a spread from these two coming down into here. So just by having these, just confirms that they're having no effect in those areas, because it was just getting a little bit crunchy. Bit too much structure in this kind of area. Right, are we getting closer? I think so, Let's okay that. And I'm looking to hopefully get some light coming across there. Let's do something fancy. Convert the smart object, and I'm going to use the camera raw filter to see if I can bring in a light source from the, a light source, the sun. See if I can just brighten that sky on the right hand side. Filter, camera raw filter, whatever. Can you tell this is the first time this one's been loaded up for a while? Where's the edges there? Right, so we want a radial filter. What else? Radial filter, there we go. If we can zoom out, please, thank you. And we want to be on the inside of that. We want it warmed up, so a nice yellow light. Maybe with a bit of magenta as well. Push that right across there. Lured, because it's going to be sunny. Is that now giving it too much of an aura around it? Yeah. Awkward. We got these masking things now, haven't you? Luminance. It's going to make it look mucky. That's fine. It's just taking a little bit off there, because if you see I've got it on when that's all the way to 0, that looks a bit, yeah. We'll just bringing it away a little bit to like 5, 6, 7, 8. Darkens that what would be in shadow just a little bit, leaving the highlight on on the edge there. Can we deepen that? Yeah, might as well be all of the foreground there. So we'll go for OK. Is it OK that in? So just make sure that's, yeah, that has affected it. That's fine. I'm tempted just to put this back in Analog Effects Pro just to see what it's going to do. I'm probably running a risk of overloading the system now. I have had a couple of crashes recently. Whatever. And I don't want to push my luck. I lost an image the other day, last night. Well, I didn't lose it. I lost about 10 minutes work on it. Well, at least 10 minutes work, because it just was all when I reloaded Photoshop and it didn't have many adjustments left, which was a bit disappointed, so I abandoned it. I don't think any of these are gonna do anything, to be honest. I thought I might get something out of these just to make it better. So I'll look at this one. No. Thought it might have worked. Just looked that yellow looked quite nice, but no. Oh, that's a softer one. No. Unless I bring that down. Lots of talking to myself, obviously. No, let's cancel that out of there. Right, next thing to try is in Color Effects Pro. So not one that I use a lot, but this is really just pushing it, trying to complete the story of Corfe Castle, or the usual Corfe Castle that you get. Whatever, I don't care. Where's the landscape? And there should be a fog setting somewhere. Graduated fog. So I don't want fog at the top, I want fog at the bottom. So I want it that way. The greatest thing ever. So probably like that. And we want it more see-through, don't we? Yeah, softer edge. Actually, I can come more see-through. So it's just having an effect there. You can see the difference. I've probably overdone it, but I don't particularly care, to be honest. It's all about having fun, trying something different. Oh god, we're over the hour. Better wrap this up. Yeah, we're over the hour. Somebody's telling me to shut up. Right. So let us just with adding that. No, it's not adding the fog in. That hasn't. Oh, don't. This is why I start getting worried, because things are slow. Smart filters are a good idea, but god damn it, they frustrate me. All I want to do is turn it on and turn it off again so I could see what the difference was. Because that is now the full front layer. Thanks, John. And I think can I mask that? The damn smart filters are freaking me out. And make it. No, cancel. Go away. Cancel. Cancel. Oh, how are you, man? Play the game. Shift, Control, Alt and E. Makes a new layer, surely. Yes, it still does. Right. That is not kind of what I wanted. I want to knock that off. Cheers, Alan. We're nearly there. I think. Right. So that's. I want a new layer of that. So I can get rid of that layer. So this layer, and I'm just going to do the. Sorry about this. I'm going to do the color effects fog thing again on this layer because that smart filter thing bugging me. So just going to do the fog thing again very quickly. In fact, it's got the same settings there. That's fine. That's just as we came out the last time. Because what was annoying is it's changed the colour slightly in there. So let's save this back in. Yeah, smart filters all well and good, but nah, there's a reason why I don't use them very much. Yeah, so if I put a mask on there and I'm going to erase stuff. So I'm just going to bring out more of that castle edge there. If I actually increase that to about 80, that would be better. Get down a lot quicker. The flow down a little bit more as well. Actually reduce that to about 60. Stop whispering, Andy. People are trying to listen to you. So top of the hills, out of the fog, Corfe Castle ish. That didn't go too well. Slightly softer edge there. Question is, do I need that? Let's just reduce that a little bit more. Fatter brush. I'm going to drop the opacity on that. One thing, just thinking about more of the hilltop would be in view. Something like that, and then just fade it out. It's a bit of a smudge when it's all said and done. There's probably a little bit more refinement to do, but I've kept you long enough. Yes, there's probably a few colour tweaks just to get right, but for an hour I'm quite happy with that. I'll just save that, and hopefully it'll not take too long, because there's a few layers the night. Bloody smart filters and all. Oh, I hate them. Good for some things, but generally I find them a pain in the ass. Especially when you're working with plugins like Nick Collection and all that stuff. If you're just working purely in Photoshop, brilliant. Using plugins, they just get in the way. Especially when you want to work like I work, is just like turn them on, turn them off, turn them on, turn them off. No, because it wants to reload the entire thing every single time. Just a pain in the ass. Right, come on computer, save me an image. Save me image. Don't think it's that big. Let me be gone. An hour and 10. Gone overboard. That's me being bloody pernickety about colours. getting the image sorted. Actually, this image is a bit of a lesson to, if you get it right at the start, you're going to get a better result, because obviously I used when I was just masking the image together, I was just using gradient masks left, right and centre. So we have got this softer edge around the subject, whereas I could have done a better job by cutting further into it, you know, right up close with a hard edge brush to really get these definitive shapes right up close. Instead we've got this kind of smudge all the way around it. So not ideal, but yeah, what we're going to do. Not post it, probably. No, I think I might. At some point. Hey, it's finished loading, finally. So now we have it here. So yeah, it's I'm reasonably happy with it. I like this light shining on the side of it, as if it's lit from the right. Yeah, okay. We are semi-done. That's just a little tweak. A wee bit hue change. Just smudging up there. What do I do with it? This orange, do anything with that? No, not really. So I think, to be honest, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get to post it. I might. Not in. I might. It'll probably go on Twitter tomorrow, maybe. Right. The usual thing is we usually crop at the end. So let's. A new copy, and let's get the cropping tool out. Do we 1x1? Something. Yeah, I think what 1x1 from that angle is. It's a bit central, but yeah, you know, horizon line, center of frame. It's a bit central, but we can make do with that. I think we do have quite a bit of foreground, which we don't really need. This is why I do all my cropping at the very end, because otherwise you're hamstrung. So just by reducing that, I think that makes it a stronger image as well. Maybe play around with how much of the image is shown, or whether we'll go that way. And I think probably this side is better. Let's see what other compositions are available of Corfe, just to see what we're doing. I think we're not far away with those crops. Let's just adjust this one for a traditional 3x2. Actually, it's bang on. It's bang on the original thingy, the original crop. So just tighten that in a little bit. You know, that brighter edge just on that third line. I'm happy with that. Just taking them edges off. A lot happier. You know, just those slivers off there. I think that's made all the difference to us. Happier. Yay! Happier. And now in the background I'll just go and completely reconfigure the colour. Right, I think we are finally done. Let me change this. So, thank you very much for watching, and all this time, because I've gone over my usual allotted time that I try to stick to. So thank you very much for sticking with me, those that have. Very much appreciate it, and sorry for taking my time being finicky over the image. But hey ho. Hopefully we've all had we've enjoyed it. So thank you again for your support. If you're after a calendar, please do get your order in as soon as possible. It would be helpful. Remember, the Black Friday deal lasts until Friday for the presets. Instructions are on the page for the presets. If you haven't got them already, then they are there, 40% off. Please do make use of that offer whilst it's available, if you want to dabble in this kind of thing. So yes, thank you very much for your company. It's been lovely. Good use of time. Hopefully I haven't disturbed your studying too much, Kangaroo, or whatever work you meant to be doing today. So yes, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week for more Tuesday night edits. Keep hard. See ya.